So Bruce Lee had a saying where he would fear a man who would practice a certain kicking style 100 times than one man who practiced like 100 kicking style one time. And to be honest, I don't fully agree with it. And say, here's the reason why for this specific example. So say from the perspective of the guy who has practiced the kick 100 times. In that one kick, he's the master of it. He knows the ins and outs, yeah? And the other guy who practiced 100 kicks, 100 different types of kicks one time, he isn't perfect at any of these type of kicks. He only tried it once. Like, so logically, it would seem, well, of course, being someone who practiced 100 kicks is better than someone who practiced 100 different types of kicks but once. But let me say this, alright? Say you are in the perspective of that one guy who practiced the one kick 100 times. So you're pretty much like a master of it, yeah? But say one day you're faced with an opponent who just happen to know the perfect defensive counter to that 100 kicks. That one kick that you practice 100 times. What are you going to do then? Because you don't have an escape route now. You don't know any other kicks apart from that kick that you practice 100 times. And I think even though the other guy who is not perfect in any of the kicks, I think he'll still have a bad chance, because if he goes against opponents who have the perfect defensive counter for specific certain kicks, like 3 or 4 or 5 kicks, they know how to counter it, but they won't know how to counter the other 95 different type of kicks. Even though the person who's not perfect in any of his kicks, he still has a bit of experience with those kicks, so he can still pretty much try it out and see what happens. And I think he'll still have a bad chance of defeating those opponents than the guy who practiced the one kick 100 times. And actually, let me add something to that. Say you have to face one guy who practiced one kick 100 times, or you instead of now this I'm going to change it. Instead of one guy who practiced 100 different types of kicks one time, it is one guy who practiced 100 different types of kicks 20 times. So it's still not perfect at any of the kicks, but it's still moderately well. He's moderately knows about the other 100 type of kicks well, compared to the one guy who only practice kicking one time with the 100 different type of kicks. I think that person who practiced it 20 times, 100 different type of kicks, would be a much more formidable opponent than the guy who practiced one kick 100 times. Because even though, like the 20 times guy, even though he's not perfect at it, he still has got like backups, basically. Say if there's one guy who pretty much knows how to defend a lot of kicks, he probably won't know how to defend a lot of other type of kicks. Like 20 times, the guy who practiced it 20 times kicks is better, basically, more better than the guy who practiced kicking once 100 times. I'm not sure if this makes sense or not. I know I've just repeated a lot of things, but it pretty much just goes back to the point where I've made before in this channel, where being the jack of all trades. So when Bruce Lee said he thinks the person who kicks 100 times is better than one who practices 100 kicks one time, that kind of goes against the statement that being jack of all trades isn't the best. But like I say, I disagree. I know, and I think the example I just gave in this video kind of perfectly counteracts that statement from Bruce Lee. However, I do realize this video might not be clear, with the way I just explained it. I don't usually script my videos. I just say what's on my mind now. I think that's the best way I do it. Like when I used to try to script videos, I know I usually pause, trying to recalibrate my mind to think, oh, what should I say now? What should I say now? But when I'm following the script, I just freeze, and it's not natural to me. Regardless, if there's any point in this video where it didn't make sense, just let me know, and I'll see if I can explain it better. But yeah, that's my take on it.